St. Stephen's, let me see. My name is Amos. I was homeless for 20 years and in and out of drug addictions and prison and jail and places like that. The last time I was locked up, I decided to change my life and go another way. But at St. Stephen's, they were the ones that gave me my first job. I had never worked before, really never seen anybody in my household work before. So working was new to me. I started off moving furniture and delivering it to people who were experiencing homelessness. St. Stephen's eventually gave me a job as a case manager as I was going to college and learning a lot of things. We were contracted by Hennepin County to move homeless families from shelters into permanent housing. And over the years, we've seen people become homeless for a lot of reasons. Foreclosure, GA eliminated, and when I say GA eliminated, I mean the emergency assistance that used to be able to help with the rent, first month's rent, and the deposits are no longer there. So now we're getting a lot of people that expect our help to either pay the rent or the deposit, and we don't have those kind of funds. We have enough funds to help maybe 10 to 20 people, and we might get 200 to 300 calls every month. So that's where we're at right now. The 5-year plan, or the 5 years welfare limit, we're starting to see the end of that, where people don't have an income because welfare has ended, yet mothers still have children that need to be fed and taken care of. Our homeless men in our shelters used to have dishwashing jobs or low-level jobs, but we have people coming out of Mexico who do great work and show up on time and, are excellent workers. And so our guys who are in the shelter really can't compete with that, so there's not as many jobs there. Matter of fact, the workforce, Minnesota, they say it has a low percentage of people unemployed, but they only count the people collecting unemployment, as I understand it. We have, through the Hennepin County, what we call levels. And levels for single adults are level 1s, level 2s, level 3s. Level 1s are people that have no barriers, no evictions, no criminal history, past rental history, and have a job where they can afford housing. Level 2s have maybe an eviction in their past, maybe some bad credit. Level 3s have criminal histories, bad credit, and multiple UDs. Those are my clients. Families, we have the same levels, except level 5s are my clients. I've had quite a few that had murder convictions, sexual offenses, and some everything else. But when I started working as a case manager, I wanted to tell you, I thought it was the worst job in the world, and I thought they only gave it to me because I was black. Because my job was to call landlords and try to present people who have past evictions, criminal history, no rent, and things like that. And landlords would tell me, that's why we have the application process, to screen those people out, not in. So we talk about racism and we mention racism when we look at disparities in the people that get into housing as opposed to those that don't. Me, when I have European clients, they almost need no help at all, no matter what barrier they have in their past. If it's murder, if it's criminal, if it's evictions, if it's whatever, they almost need no help. Just go through the paper, call a landlord. And one landlord told me something one day that sounded kind of reasonable, but I still think it was kind of shaky. He said, well, she sounds like my niece. Or, people can have problems along the way. And he reminds me of my nephew, and he had a lot of problems before he straightened out. But the same black people or minorities with the same problems, those are my nephews, those are my nieces, those are my cousins or whoever. I think people deserve a fair chance. Martin Luther King said, life's most urgent question is, what can we do for others? And in the Islamic tradition, they have a saying. They say, the hand on top is better than the hand on the bottom, meaning the one giving is better than the one on the bottom. So when they give somebody something, they don't put their hands on the top, they put their hands on the bottom so that the person receiving can be on the top. And I'll say to the question, at St. Stephen's, we're doing outreach. And outreach I really, really love. As Liz has mentioned, she just needs outreach. We have outreach. And then we have the rapid exit and rehousing program. And we talk to landlords and we tell them we'll pay the eviction costs to reduce your chances that the tenant's gonna go bad or that you'll lose money. Because it used to be an eviction, the pilot was $150, now it's $322. So we guarantee the eviction cost if they take a chance with this person that has multiple UDs. The bad part is, it's a lot of money, and it adds up when you have to spend it for quite a few people. And we don't end up spending it for a lot of people. You know, people think, well, hey, that'll add up to $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. It doesn't. We guarantee damages, which, you know, we say you have to let us know when it happens so we can go in and evaluate it. I had bills sent to us that was $10,000, but we had it fixed for $500. You know, so as we advocate for people and we're seeing these disparities, it breaks my heart. You know, it shows us that we have a long ways to go in society, and racism isn't blatant. You know, they say, what is diversity training? And to me, I'm gonna be honest with you, diversity training to me is learning not to say nigga in public. And I know that's kind of rough, but you know, it's kind of learning what not to do where people can see you. Or diversity training again is to learn how to treat people so that they don't feel offended. I'd rather have it the other way, how to treat people so that they feel empowered. Because homeless, one thing I noticed about the homeless, and as Erica alluded to, people have dignity. I teach art class every Tuesday night, and I swear I love it. You know, I work all week, then I teach art class on Tuesday nights. And the guys come and they say, well, I don't really like art, but I'll do it for something to do. And it makes them forget about their circumstances. And the art that they create has been so beautiful that, you know, you say, well, why aren't you an artist? Why aren't you this? And it's like chopping a tree in the forest, you know? Different things happen to you in life where your mom dies, your brother died, or your best friend was killed, or your girlfriend was killed, or, you know, you talk to someone who's homeless and you always hear a story of something that traumatic that happened to them. And as Freud said, they got fixated right there. They got stuck right there. And I'm trying to push, encourage, and show compassion and reach for the dignity to try to pull them up so that they get back in touch with that compassion and the dignity of what we call God's Spirit in each and every human being and pull them back up. Because the chemistry in your brain can change at any minute and you can be homeless. I had a lady, 90 years old, call me and tell me all of her children had passed away and there was nobody to take care of her. And she had lost her home because she had forgot to pay the mortgage. The chemistry in her brain was changing. She had moved to a senior housing where it was 30% of the income, and she told me she's sleeping on the floor. Now, bridging takes about 2 weeks. I'm not gonna let her sleep on the floor, I'm gonna find her a bed. So at least she can lay on the mattress until she gets some furniture. We look at the things that contribute to people becoming homeless: loss of a job, separation, domestic abuse. You know, we look at drug addiction. We look at people coming out of prison. They don't get money when they come out. I think they give them $100 gate money. What can you buy with that? When I came out of prison, I slept in the projects on the floor at my mother's house. Do you know Public Housing sent her a letter saying if you don't get him out because of his criminal history, you will be evicted? The whole time I had been committing crimes, they had never sent that letter. But now that I wanted to change my life, they sent that letter. So it meant I go run with my drug dealing friends that had nice apartments, or my bank robbing friend that had a nice apartment, or I can go back to prison where life isn't that much of a struggle. You watch TV, you go to school, you come back, you don't worry about it. I didn't have to worry about the light bill, the gas bill, the rent. I didn't have to worry about getting up every day and going to work whether I wanted to or didn't want to. But it helped me build those inside muscles. And we teach the guys, we teach the homeless, we teach the ex-cons or the people being released from prison how to build those inside muscles to keep on going or to struggle past wherever you got fixated. So we need all the volunteers. We need the advocates. You hear Minnesota Coalition for the Homeless. You hear Wilder. You hear what's going on. There's no excuse not to do something. And I'll close with Malcolm X said, without no struggle, there'll be no progress.